In this video, I'd like to look back at the key points that Adrian covered when he looked at how to tackle question 2. It's worth 8 marks, and so you should spend 10 minutes on this question. This question looks at how the writer has used language to achieve certain effects, and it will always have the same format. You'll be asked to look at a particular section of the extract. In this case, it was lines 7 to 18. And again, as in question 1, you should underline or highlight that section of the extract so you can focus on it. The question asks you to, it asks, how does the writer use language to describe the scene? And you're given 3 bullet points here that indicate the different aspects of language use that you could comment on. Adrian suggested that you should be able to gather all your 8 marks by commenting on just the first 2 bullet points, which are to do with the vocabulary and language features used in the text. And given the time constraints in the exam, you may choose not to look at sentence forms, which can be a bit tricky to analyse. A few tips. Make sure that you use a range of short quotes. Use subject terminology where you can. Again, focus on the first 2 bullet points around vocabulary and language features rather than worrying too much about sentence forms. And it's really, really important that you use 1 or 2 sentences to explore the effect of that use of that language technique on you as the reader. It's useful to make a plan because that will help you focus on the element that you're going to cover in each of the 3 paragraphs that you need to write. And if you write a plan, if you run out of time and don't have an opportunity to complete one of the 3 paragraphs, you may be able to pick up 1 or 2 marks from the notes you used in drafting your plan. That's the piece of text that Adrian looked at with you, and he's highlighted 3 phrases there, which he then captured in a simple plan. On the left hand side, quickly scribble the quote, and then on the right hand side, explore the language device that quote illustrates. So it's about exploring the impact. So on the left hand side, the quote, and then on the right hand side, explore, talking a little bit about the technique, using a bit of subject terminology, and explaining its impact on you as the reader. Quote, explore. If you do that, if you take the time to create that kind of plan, you should find it easier to create a sample paragraph like this, where in the first sentence, in this opening to the story, the writer wants to create a sense of mystery to engage the reader. So we're making a point there. She uses the verb prowled, an embedded quote there, so we've got a bit of evidence there, so we've got point, evidence. This metaphor, using a bit of subject terminology there, suggests that in some way the police are like a pack of animals on a hunt. And then in these 3 sentences, we explore and unpack the effect of that use of metaphor on us as the reader. This makes me think that the police are ready to deal with danger. In this way, the writer is building up a sense of threat and fear. I'm intrigued to read on and find out what they are looking for. If you want to look at other examples of that kind of sentence structure, that kind of paragraph structure rather, you may recall in the first video, for question 1, we looked at an extract from The Great Gatsby. Well, on the Padlet board, you'll be able to download a PDF, and you'll find on that PDF you'll find a section that's highlighted, and when you click on each of these highlighted phrases, there'll be like a little pop-up panel which will give you a sample point, evidence, explore paragraph that identifies a particular language technique and then explains its effect on the reader. So a little bit more 1 or 2 more examples there of how to tackle that particular question, which is worth 8 marks, and you should spend 10 minutes on that question.